is December 31st. Lord, I don't even know what today is. It is December 31st, 2021. It's New Year's Eve. And I am Cristi. And this is my very first episode of The New Black, which is my new podcast. This is about 3 or 4 years in the making. For all the usual reasons: procrastination, self doubt, insecurity, blah, 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 etc., etc. So, I'm just gonna do it tonight, right now, on New Year's Eve. I'm not even gonna wait until the new year to do it. We're just doing it now. Just putting it out there. This is a brainchild of my blog, a blog that I'm restarting, depending on when this comes out. I don't know. I'm restarting, called A Brand New Life. And the New Black is kind of the love child, my rantings and ravings and thoughts and musings on, I guess, my renaissance or our renaissance of the black experience. It's hard to describe. Being a black person is very layered, very nuanced, but a lot of things a lot of us share. And so maybe you can relate to this and maybe you can't, but if you're listening, I hope you can. And yeah, that's what this is about. I don't know if I said this already because I'm a little tipsy, I'm not even gonna lie. My name is Cristi. I'll just introduce myself. My name is Cristi. I'm a realtor by day and an overall bad bitch by day and night. I don't have any other thing to say. I mean, naturally, there's more to me than all of that, and we'll get into all of that in the other episodes, but that's the best way to describe me right now, I guess. But, I love life. I love to live. My entire objective was to live my life free of any inhibitions, anything that anyone thought I should do. So that's always been my goal. I spend a lot of time trying to figure out exactly where I want to be, and was it a journey? And we'll get into that in later episodes. But everything that I've experienced and been through in the conversations, the friendships, the relationships, the family shit, everything kind of led me to a place where I have a lot of thoughts and feelings. And the more I talk to people, the more I find that they have those kind of similar thoughts and feelings too. And sometimes they don't really have a place to kind of express and or share, especially as a millennial. I'm a millennial, born in 88. And so we have some of the most unique experience that you can really think of. I'm old enough to remember, going outside all day when in the summertime, talking on the house phone, three-way, riding bikes in the neighborhood. I'm also young enough to remember taking computer coding. I'm also old enough to remember MySpace and young enough to remember MySpace because, I remember, so my life is layered. I'll say that. My life is layered. As a millennial, I think a lot of people discount the amount of change that has happened in the span of our entire lifetime. In our lifetime, only it's probably between 30 and 40 years. Most of the people who are millennials are about 30 or 40 years old. So the amount of change and things that happen to us, I don't know that anyone else has really experienced that in their lifetime, especially with such a short life. 30 or 40 years of life is so short. And I know because I have relatives who are really old, grandparents, aunts, uncles, really old. So I know that life in 30 or 40 years can only be about half of your life. You got another half to go. And that's what kind of inspired me to do this podcast because a lot of us have that experience, and so on top of that, being black, that's what the new black means to me. A shift, a change in the way we as black people, especially black women, experience life and figuring it out. Because for me, I've had to spend a lot of time figuring out life in a way that I don't think my mother or my grandmother or aunts really had to do. And I'm sure a lot of other black millennial women especially can relate to that. And even older or younger women than me who also have too. And so I wanted to share that. And so this is kind of my diary, I guess. To put it plainly, this is kind of my diary. So if you're listening, I'm happy you're here, and I hope you come back and share your thoughts and give me some feedback. But this is something I had to do mostly for me. And now I want to share that with you. I share with a lot of the people around me, my close friends, my family, and now I want to share it with others who may not have that same luxury or outlet of people to share or the freedom to speak that experience without feeling judged or scared or misrepresented. So here we are. So that's the short version of the new black. I look forward to sharing more of my life, more about me, more of my personal musings, experiences, what's happening with me, what's going on. And hopefully it's something you can relate to and speaks to you in a way that's helpful. So that's it. That's the first episode. Like I said, I just had to do this and get it over with and get it out of the way. This is very candid, unrehearsed. I don't have any notes. I'm looking around and moving stuff around because I don't really know how to use some of this equipment and stuff. And as basic as it is, y'all would be ashamed. The equipment is basic, honey. But your girl is doing her best, okay? So, yeah. And so to close us out, because it's getting late, and again, the fireworks and or gunshots is getting loud. You know, my word of the week, I think, would be love. Love is something that keeps coming up in my meditations, in my prayers, in my daily readings, in my daily experiences. So, my word is love. Do everything in love. That's something that keeps coming to me, and that's the reason why I'm doing this podcast, is purely from love. I don't really have another reason. And as we're coming off the series finale of one of the greatest shows of our generation, Insecure, so relatable, so dynamic, so true to who it's meant to be for, so authentic. Everyone talks about the love story truly being between Issa and Molly. And as a woman who values her friendships and soulmates who are not romantic so deeply and has for a really long time, I think one of the biggest love stories of that we are forgetting too is the love story that is within yourself. The love you have with yourself, I guess. Um, I think that's the real story there. Everything started to fall into place for those ladies as they began to love themselves. That's getting the help they needed through therapy. That's being more open and honest with the people around them. That's starting or stopping the self doubt, which was the whole point of the show. Because we all have insecurities. I know I do. And that's why it took me 4 years to just sit down and do this. Starting to love yourself makes everything else so much easier to achieve and do. And I'm speaking too from watching that show in my own experience that beginning to love myself unconditionally, without doubt, without care what anybody else thought, was the true catalyst for pushing me to the place that I needed to be. And I think that was something that they also pointed out very well. And so as we go into the new year, to a new month, because every month is a new start, and to a new day. Every day is a new start. I encourage you and I push you to do, like I said, to do everything in love. So, with that, I'll say cheers and Happy New Year. And hopefully, I'll see you or you'll be hearing my voice next time as you watch the next episode. I can't wait to share more about my personal experience, life, and musing. So, Happy New Year.